fellas, it's 80 degrees here at the stadium, and it is delightful. Sun shining, blue skies. Down the line, 320 in center field, 400 feet. The power alleys at 385. Straightaway left and right, 375 feet. And there's really an absence of wind tonight. Is very, very calm. The umpires, Durwood Merrill back of the plate. Marty Springstead at first base. Larry Barnett at second base. The third base umpire is Jim Evans. This is the first of a twilight doubleheader. Ron LaFleur, Steve Kemp, and Rusty Staub, the top three in the batting order, to face left-hander Rick Waits. Waits is 6'3", 195 pounds, and 26 years old. On the scoreboard, one game in progress in the National League. Chicago Cubs went into the ninth inning leading 8-5 over the Mets. The Cubs had scored 4 in the seventh and 3 in the eighth to go ahead, but the Mets have scored at least one as Mannix is homered in the ninth, and the Cubs have used 4 pitches in that ninth inning. So we will wait and we shall see. Rick Waits is ready to go. Durwood Merrill gives home plate a final dusting. Rick goes up, leans down, grabs that sack of rosin, gives it a squeeze, flips it away, and he's ready. And Joe Tate is always ready to tell you that it is
a beautiful night for baseball. Now we've just had a switch in the lineup. Cox. That's what I've got.
That's what I have too.
Here's the pitch. First pitch to LaFleur is a fastball, strike one. LaFleur, the center fielder, right-hand batter, hitting .261, 6 homers, 24 RBIs, 2 for 9 with a run scored in the series, and a pitch inside. The count evens at 1-1. They had announced that Cox was batting 8th, Kuiper 7th, and that's the way we have it. Pitch to LaFleur, chops it to the first base side. Thornton gets it, going to flip to Waits in time to get LaFleur, and there's one down. So LaFleur bounces first baseman to the pitcher covering, and this will bring to bat Steve Kemp, the left fielder. Kemp at .276, 4 homers, 28 RBIs, 1 for 8 in the series with a run batted in and a run scored. Kemp leading the league in walks with 61, and is second best in the American League in on-base percentage. Dick Przewski coaching at first, Freddie Hatfield at third. Thornton at first, Kuiper at second, Verizon at short, Cox at third. In left field, Johnny Grubb, the center fielder, Rick Manning, Paul Dade in right. Alexander is catching, and left-hander Rick Waits on the mound. Wind up, and the pitch to Kemp. Outside, ball one. Rusty Staub on deck. And the next pitch to Kemp. High outside, ball two, 2-0. All game just getting underway here at the stadium. Now the baseball will be examined by Durwood Merrill. Tigers are 18-19 on the road. The Indians are 20-15 at home. Tigers hitting .274 against the league with 62 homers, .268 against Cleveland with 1 home run. Tribe hitting .259 against Detroit with 42 homers and .274 against Detroit. Pitch is low, and the count is 3-0. I should say the Indians hitting .259 against the league with 42 homers and .274 against Detroit with 1 home run. 3-0 pitch to Kemp. He takes the strike of the outside corner fastball, 3-1. Well, the Tigers have played in 4 doubleheaders. They have split 3 and lost 1. They lost 1 to the Boston Red Sox. The Indians have split 5 and lost 1. Low and outside. Kemp walked for the 62nd time this year. Rick Waits in 103 2/3 innings has struck out 50, walked 35. The DH, the left-hand batting, Rusty Staub. Staub at .287, 10 homers, 51 RBIs, 2 for 10 on the series with a 2-run homer and 2 runs scored. Staub on a 9-game hitting streak, 14 for his last 40. Second in the league with 51 runs batted in. First pitch is low, ball one. Staub is 6th with 82 hits and tied for 8th with 126 total bases. Stretch by Waits. Looks to Kemp at first, throws to Staub, and Rusty hits a fly ball into center field. Manning shading his eyes with a glove, moving to his right, makes the catch. 2 out. 2 away in the first inning with a runner on, and Jason Thompson steps in. Thompson at .307, 17 homers, 49 RBIs, 2 for 9 in the series with an RBI and a run scored. Thompson has hit safely in his last 12 games. He's had 20 hits in his last 51 at-bats, a .392 average. Over his last 17 games, he's hitting .377, hitting safely in 16 of the 17. He is second in the league in hits with 87 and total bases with 153. Third in runs batted in and tied for third with 17 homers. Fifth in slugging at .541. I think that pretty well sums up this big left-hander. He can slug that ball. Stretch by Waits for the runner at first. And the first pitch to Thompson is the curveball outside, ball one.
With the left-hander up, Waits drops down and throws that curveball almost sidearm.
Aurelio Rodriguez on deck. The stretch in the pitch, low and outside, ball two, 2-0. Rick Waite looking for his 6th win and his 10th complete game of the year. Last report, his 9 complete games put him in a tie for first with Flanagan of Baltimore. 2-0 pitch, swing, and a foul tip into the mid of Alexander, 2-1.
Speaking of Baltimore, they play in Toronto again tonight. The Blue Jays have taken 3 in a row from them.
Kuiper, the second baseman, back of the grass in right field. Thornton at first base holding with Steve Kemp. Verizon within 3 steps of being directly behind the bag at second. Stretch by Waits. And the 2-1 pitch. Straight to the outside corner with a curveball, 2-2. Top of the first, 2 outs with a runner at first base. The stretch by Waits. Looks at first base. Throws 2-2 to Thompson. The curveball low and outside. Now a count of 3-2. Harvey Haddix yelled something out to Waits, and Waits turned, grinned at him, and nodded his head. So the top of the first with 2 outs, and now a full count on Thompson. Kemp will be on the go with the pitch. Waits looks into Alexander, nods. The stretch. And the 3-2 pitch. Thompson fouls it back on the screen. Still 3-2. Kemp on the go, turns and comes back. Rick's rejects in the bleachers tonight. Rick is our man Manning, it says, or our main man Manning. It's just our main Manning. Hard to read, they're far away. Stretch. Look to first. 3-2 pitch. Thompson hits the ball to the shortstop. Verizon has it. Throws to first side. Is retired. No runs, no hits, a walk, and a man left. The end of 1/2 inning of play. The Tigers nothing, and the Indians are coming to bat.
Say, did you hear about all the great specials at our car wash in Newark? Yeah, Wednesday is Ladies' Day. A wash is only 99 cents with a fill-up and $1.49 without. Thursday is Senior Citizens Day, and a wash with fill-up is just 69 cents for $1.29 without. Listen, Friday is TGIF Day, and Saturday is Hot Wax Day. Hot Wax for just 79 cents. And on your birthday, you get a free car wash, and there's free vacuuming all the time. At our car wash at South 30th Street in Newark and Mount Vernon and Delaware.
We live in complicated times, so every now and then it's nice to get back to the basics and really get your money's worth. At Spitzer Dodge in Columbus, you can with the 1978 Dodge Colt starting at a low $3,545. Just think, a new car at a used car price, plus exceptional gas mileage. So stop by Spitzer Dodge and get back to the basics with the Dodge Colt for an uncomplicated $3,545. The new car at a used car price. See you at Spitzer Dodge, 5100 East Main Street in Columbus.
Have a very nice note and some goodies here tonight from Ann McLean from Chicago and Terry Valentine of Lyndhurst, Ohio, 2 faithful Indian fans. And I'm sure they will be happy to know that some of the great chowhounds of our time are already circling the goodies. Bruce Fine has wiped out at least half. A good father, Father John, has had his share and then some. Pete Franklin even put the nose in there. I'm not sure that anything has gone farther than that, but they are being well received, and we thank them. Jim Slayton going to the mound for the Tigers. He'll look at Dave Manning and Grubb in the home half of the first. We still have no further word from Chicago, where the Mets by this time may have batted around about 3 times, judging from the number of pitchers the Cubs have used in the ninth. They have used Suter, Krukow, Geisel, and Burris all in the ninth. Cubs went to the ninth leading 8-5. Maddox homered for the Mets to make it 8-6. That's the last we have heard from Wrigley. Alday will lead it off. Dade at 289, 3 homers, 17 RBIs, 2 for 8 in the series, having extended his hitting streak to 6 games in a row. Had 8 hits in his last 22 at-bats. Rocky Colavito coaching at first, Joan Ossock at third. Slayton, the right-hander, with Milwaukee last year. He's 6 feet even, 180 pounds. Wind up in the pitch to Dade. Paul moves to bunt and takes a strike. Strike one.
Slayton pretty much of a fastball slider type pitcher.
Thompson at first. At second base tonight for the Detroit Tigers. Steve Dillard pitched to Dade. Fastball, strike of the knees. Strike two. Wagner at short. Rodriguez at third. Kemp in left. LaFleur in center. The right fielder tonight in the first game, Stanley, the catcher Parrish, and the pitcher Slayton, who just fired one low, and the count is 1-2. Slayton winds up again, 1-2 pitch. Dade swings, puts the fly ball in the air and right. Stanley to his right, now coming in a few steps and makes the catch. Dade flies to right field, 1 away in the first inning. The batter, Rick Manning, a left-hand hitter. 257 his average, 2 homers, 20 RBIs, and 3 for 8 in the series. Home half of the first inning. Right-hander peers into Parrish for the sign. And the first pitch to Rick Manning is a ball. Ball one. Slayton ready again, the 1-0 pitch, and Rick takes low and outside. Ball two. Slayton ready with the 2-0 pitch to Manning, and Rick takes a fastball inside. Now the count is 3-0. Slayton cranks up the 3-0 offering to Manning and walks him on 4 pitches. Well, just as the Tigers put their second man aboard with a walk in the first inning, the Indians reciprocate. Slayton, 98 and 1/3 innings, 38 strikeouts, 43 walks. John Grubb, 239, 7 homers, 26 RBIs, 2 for 8 in the series with a run scored. He has hit safely in his last 6 ball games. He's had 7 hits in his last 20 at-bats. Manning at first, Jason Thompson holding to the bag. Stretch and pitch, and John Grubb takes the curveball, low, ball one. Tomorrow, another makeup game on the schedule. It'll be a businessman's luncheon special at 12:05. Clyde for the Tribe, Sykes for the Tigers. Throw to first, Manning back to the bag. Stretch by Slayton. Checks first, throws to Grubb. John wraps it right up the middle into center field. A base hit. Grubb on with a base hit. Manning stops at second, and the Indians have 2 on with 1 away.
And Johnny Grubb starting to hit that ball the way we know that John can hit it. Very quick, sharp swing and line drive hit.
And that extends his hitting streak to 7 games in a row. Andre Thornton, right-hand batter. Thornton at 270. 12 homers, 39 runs batted in. 1 for 6 in the series with 2 runs scored. Andre 8th in the American League in slugging at .521 and on-base percentage 39-1. So Manning at second, Grubb at first, 1 out, and Andre Thornton at bat. Stretch by Slayton, pitch to Andre, swing and a foul to the screen, strike 1. Bernie Carbo on deck. Sunshine and 80 degrees at the stadium at the outset of this twilight doubleheader. Going to be Shrine Night with a big parade between games. Stretch, look back to Manning, pitch to Thornton, and he takes low and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. A stretch. Check of Manning. 1-1 pitch. Thornton takes outside. 2 balls and a strike. Dade opened with a fly ball to right. Manning walked and Grubb singled him to second base. 2-1 the count on Andre Thornton. The stretch by Slayton. Pitch to Andy. Thornton hits a very high fly ball to left. Coming in on the ball is Kemp, getting under it now, and makes the catch toward the foul line. 2 out. Leaves it up to Bernie Carbo, the designated hitter. Bernie hitting .278, 1 homer, 7 runs batted in, 3 for 7 in the series with an RBI, and a run scored. Bernie 3 for 8 as an Indian. Sherwood Merrill takes a moment to go to home plate with a whisk broom. Slayton with 2 on, 2 out in the first inning. Leans for the side. Here's the stretch. And the first pitch to Bernie. Carbo swings and fouls it to the screen. Strike 1. Well, Herb, I see Mark Fidrich is on his way back from Fun City right here to Cleveland.
I'm not exactly sure when he's going to arrive. I was talking with Ralph House, and he said he knows he's been examined in New York, and they're going to send him back, but whether he arrives today, tomorrow, Ralph wasn't sure.
Strike 1 the count as Carbo steps back to the left or to the right of home plate. Left-hand batter, recently acquired from the Boston Red Sox. They have LaFleur into left center and a big gap in right center for Carbo. Time called. Slayton steps back.
They sent Fidrich to the same doctor who worked on Don Gullett recently, and under anesthetic, they manipulated his arm and stretched the tendons, and I hope that's going to do the job for him.
A stretch. Strike 1 pitch to Carbo. Bernie swings away, bangs it back to the second baseman. Dillard has it, throws to first to the side, is retired. So for the first time in this series, we are scoreless at the end of the first inning. Indians no runs, a hit, a walk, and 2 left. And at the end of 1 inning of play, Detroit nothing, Cleveland nothing.
Get into the swing of things at Broadview Golf Course at routes 310 and 16 in Pataskala, 10 minutes east of I-270 on Broad Street. Broadview is a beautiful 9-hole, 35-flower course that's open to the public. You'll be pleased when you see the watered fairways and pleasant surroundings. No tee times are required, and club and electric cart rental is available. You'll find fine food and beverages in the clubhouse, and the Pro Shop carries anything the golfer wants or needs at special discount prices. Broadview Golf Course at routes 310 and 16 in Pataskala, a challenging 9-hole golf course.
3WJ presents the Columbus Jackpot Program. Over $500 in gift certificates for you. A number of people are being called by telephone to receive this fantastic offer. You may be called today. $500 in gift certificates for only $24.95. If you can't wait for that call, phone 868-8595. That's 868-8595. The Columbus Jackpot.
Stanley and Parrish. 5, 6, and 7 in the Tiger order in the second inning against Rick Waits. Aurelio Rodriguez, right-hand batter, .272, 5 homers, 21 RBIs, 1 for 4 with a run batted in the series. Rodriguez with that black number 4 trimmed in orange in the back of his gray traveling Tiger uniform. Sherwood Merrill had signaled that the lights should be turned on, especially in the area behind the home plate because of the shadows. Wind up with the first pitch to Rodriguez, the curveball, and a ball 1 outside. Top of the second, no score. First game of a doubleheader. Wind up on the pitch, fastball, a strike, and the count is 1-1. Waits delivers again. Rodriguez takes low. 2 balls and a strike. Tigers had a base runner in the top of the first when Steve Kemp walked. 2-1 pitch. Rodriguez takes the curve high, 3-1. Second game tonight for the Indians. It'll be Paxton and Wilcox for the Tigers. 3-1 pitch to Rodriguez. Chops a foul back to the screen, 3-2. Indians spend the weekend in Toronto and then come back for Baltimore Monday night and Tuesday night. Here's the 3-2 pitch to Rodriguez. Wraps it to the mound right between the legs of Waits and into center field to hit. Well, Rodriguez smacks a single into center field. That is the first Tiger hit of the ball game. And it brings to bat Mickey Stanley, the right fielder. Stanley hitting .218, 2 homers, 3 runs batted in, 1 for 3 in the series. Stanley has played this game of baseball a long time.
And played it well.
And all with the Detroit Tigers.
He has really been a fine ball player. One of the better outfielders around.
Stretch of the pitch. Stanley takes a fastball, strike 1. Rodriguez at first and nobody out in the top of the second inning. Waits looks into Alexander for the sign. Here's the stretch. Strike 1 pitch. Stanley chops the ball foul on the third base side to, well, beyond the third base coach to the dugout. Little scramble by some of the Tiger players over there, and the count is strike 2. Waits looking in again to Alexander for the side. Rick's last outing, an 8-3 win over Toronto. The stretch. 2-strike pitch. Curveball high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Waits against the Tigers lifetime 1-5. He's won his last 2 starts. The stretch, 1-2 pitch. Stanley wraps the ball over the mound, up the middle. Verizon gets it, steps on second, throws to first for the double play. Twin killing. 2 outs and nobody on. The Mets just tied the Cubs with 3 in the 9th. It's 8-8 going to the last of the 9th.
They've had a very interesting last 3 innings.
Sure have. So with 2 outs and nobody on, the batter is the catcher, Lance Parrish.
Cubs scored 4 in the 7th, 3 in the 8th. Mets came back with a run in the 8th and 3 in the 9th.
Parrish hitting .213, 5 homers, 13 RBIs, 1 for 3 in the series. Slaps the bouncer back to Kuiper, flips to first. Parrish out, and so are the Tigers. No runs and a hit with nobody left. At the end of an inning and a half, Detroit nothing, Cleveland nothing. In the home half of the second inning, Alexander, Kuiper, and Cox will go against Jim Slayton. Cubs failed in the 9th, so they've gone to the 10th inning. All tied up at Wrigley Field, 8-8.
And of course, in Wrigley Field, they do not have lights. Well, this time of year, it's not much of a problem.
Gary Alexander, the Indians catcher, hitting .227, 13 homers, 33 RBIs. 3 for 7 in the series with a 3-run homer and 2 runs scored. Gary's hit safely in the last 6 ball games, 9 hits and 20 at-bats. He's now tied for 9th in the American League in home runs with 13. We'll get a station break to you here in just a matter of moments, so stay loose along the network line. Slayton leans in, gets the sign. Here's the windup, and the pitch to Alexander. Shortens up on the bat and takes a strike, strike 1. No score in the home half of the second inning. Slayton nods, winds up, and delivers. Alexander hits a high fly to right field. Stanley to his right, goes back a step and makes the basket catch. 1 out. Now let's pause for station identification. This is the Cleveland Indians Baseball Network.
This is 3WJ, Central Ohio's home of the Cleveland Cavaliers, Browns, and Indians. WWJ, Johnstown.
Dwayne Kuiper, left-hand batting second baseman, has hit safely in his last 10 games, hitting .261, 17 RBIs, and he's 3 for 6 in the series. Fastball is low and inside, ball 1. Kuiper's had 16 hits in his last 35 at-bats, and has put 29 points on his batting average in that span. Slayton looks in. Here's the windup and the pitch. It is a fastball strike at the knees. 1 ball, 1 strike. Now the windup by Slayton and the 1-1 pitch. Kuiper wraps the ball down the third base line. Gloved at the bag by Rodriguez. Fires a rope to first. 2 out. Two down in the second inning. Teddy Cox, the third baseman, steps in. Cox hitting .214 with 7 runs batted in. 0 for 6 in the series. Ted filling in at third base in the absence of Buddy Bell, but as you heard Herb mention before, Buddy came to the ballpark today and put on the uniform. Pitch to Ted, strike 1. You just knew he was going to be down here before they said he was going to be down here, Herb.
He's a tough fellow to keep away.
Strike 1 pitch. Cox takes low and outside. 1-1. Jim Slayton. 16th appearance and start. 7-7 against the Tribe lifetime. 0-3 last year with Milwaukee. 1-1 pitch. Cox chops the ball down the third base line. Glove foul at the bag by Rodriguez, and the count at 1-2. Slayton snapped a 2-game losing streak when he defeated the Yankees at Detroit in his last start Saturday night. He went the route, limiting the Yankees to 4 hits, 3 runs, 2 of them earned, struck out 4, walked 1. Jim had lost to Milwaukee and at Minnesota before taking on and beating the Yankees. He's 3-2 in 7 road starts today. 2-1 pitch, line drive, right field, going to drop for the hit. Oh, Cox slaps the ball into right field for a single. That is the Indians' second base hit of the game. Number 9 man is Tom Verizor. Tommy has gone hitless in his last 4 games. Now hitting at .248, 10 runs batted in, 0 for 5 with an RBI. Stretch by Slayton. Pitch to Verizor. Tom takes time inside, ball 1. Cox leads at first, the stretch. 1-0 pitch. Verizor at the line drive into center field. Base hit. Cox around second, digging for third. Pick up, throw back in to the second baseman, and the Indians have runners at first and at third with 2 outs. Verizor coming up with a base hit. Top of the order, Paul Day did a fly ball to right field, leading off for the first inning. Paul Day batting the bat handle on home plate as though he thought perhaps the bat might be cracked. I guess it's all right. He's going to stay with it. Stretch by Slayton. Pitch to Day. Paul swings and misses. Strike 1. Got a chunk of it, according to the home plate umpire, and tipped it into the mid of the catcher, Parrish. Strike 1. Cox at third, Verizor at first, and for the second inning, the Indians have 2 men on. Game scoreless. Pitch to Dade. Hits it to the shortstop. Scooped up, flipped to the second baseman, Dillard. The forced play on Verizor, retires the side. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left. At the end of 2 innings of play, it is Detroit nothing, Cleveland nothing.
And for the king of and that and the peace of no matter what we do, no matter when or where, you know a blast of blood is like an eagle chair when you say bud. Yeah, that's right. There's nothing like getting home, especially when there's a cold can of Bud waiting for you. When you say Bud, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis.
Third inning for the Detroit Tigers. Mark Wagner, the shortstop. Then we'll see the second baseman, Steve Dillard, followed by the top of the order, Ron LaFleur. Scoreless game in the top of the third. The Indians have out-hit the Tigers thus far, 3-1. Rick Waits winds up. First pitch to the right-hand batting Mark Wagner is a strike. Strike one. Wagner hitting .250 with 6 RBIs, 0 for 3 in the series. Slightly closed right-hand stance. Strike one pitch to him. Wagner chops the ball toward third. Cox gets it on the end of the high hop and drops it for an error. Well, he threw it before he had it. And an error charged to Ted Cox. Well, the Indians have the game's first error. And it'll bring up Steve Dillard. Dillard at .237 with 4 runs batted in his first at bat in this series and of the year against the Indians. Dillard formerly with the Boston Red Sox. Hit .241 in 66 games with the Sox last year. Squares to bunt, takes a fastball, strike one.
Tigers have quite a few extra infielders. They can really put out new infield for you at second, short, and third all the time.
This is the third game and their third combination.
Right.
Stretch by Waits. Looks to first. Throws to Dillard. Squares to bunt and does. First base line. Ball bouncing. Still rolling. Stops on the chalk. Fair ball. Base hit.
It stopped right on the line. In fact, it hit something and looked like it was going to go foul. Then it hit something else and stopped right on the center of the foul line.
Well, the Tigers have runners at first and at second with nobody out. Alexander going to go to the mound. Kuiper and Waits are already there. Mets have changed pitchers in the 10th. Butch Metzger pitching. The only other action going right now. Boston and Minnesota have the day off. Ron LaFleur wrapped a ball to the first baseman back in the first inning of play. No score here in the third, but the Tigers threaten with runners at first and at second and nobody out. Waits looking in for the sign. The stretch. And the pitch. Curveball banged up the middle. Verizon dives, can't get it, base hit. Rounding at third, Wagner going to the plate. Dillard goes to third, and it is a 3-1, a 1-0 ball game. And the third Tiger hit.
25 runs batted in for Ron LaFleur.
That run is an unearned run.
And that run can never be earned. If there are any other runs in this inning, some can be and some may not be. But that one will always be unearned.
Well, 1 run and 3 hits off Waits. Runners at first and at third, nobody out. Waits goes to first and LaFleur goes back to the bag. Kemp at bat. He walked in the first inning. Stretch by Waits. And the pitch. Kemp takes outside, ball 1. Tigers 1 run on 3 hits. The Indians no runs, 3 hits and an error. And that error opened the door here in the third inning. Stretch and the 1-0 pitch to Kemp. Takes the ball for a strike on the curve, and the count is 1-1. Top of the third inning. An error charged to Cox, put Wagner on. Dillard bunted, beat it for a hit, and LaFleur singled home a run. Throw to first, LaFleur to the bag. Steve Dillard at third, Ron LaFleur at first. Stretch. 1-1 pitch. Curveball hit up in the air into left center field. Manning getting over, getting under, makes the catch. Here comes Dillard. The throw comes into second base. And the Tigers lead 2-0 on a sacrifice fly to center field by Kemp. It was also the first out of the inning. And Kemp's 29th run batted in. That run is earned. Rusty Staub hit a fly ball to center field in the first inning. Comes to bat with 1 out, 1 on. LaFleur at first base. Stretch by Waits. Looks to LaFleur, throws to Staub, pitch out. No go at first, ball 1.
Last night, LaFleur was cut down by Gary Alexander on a fine throw.
Now the baseball will be examined by Durwood Merrill, the home plate umpire. And there was something wrong with it, so he flips it out of play. Durwood Merrill, good old boy from Texarkana. 1-0 the count. Stretch, look to first, throw to first, LaFleur back. Top of the third, and the Tigers have scored twice. Stretch by Waits. Looks again to LaFleur. And the pitch to Staub. Fastball inside, ball 2. 2-0. Waits looks again. A stretch. LaFleur leading at first base. Thornton holding at the bag. Throw to first. LaFleur back to the bag. One away here in the top of the third. A stretch. 2-0 pitch. Staub takes the breaking ball low. 3-0. On deck is Jason Thompson.
Things not getting any easier when he walks up.
Amen. Stretch. The check. The pitch. Staub backs away and takes ball 4. Pitch across the plate but low. Second walk given up by Waits. That shoves LaFleur down to second base. And it brings on Jason Thompson. Thompson bounced to the shortstop in the first inning of play to retire the side. But that kind of a ball here, you've got 2 with Staub at first. Rick Waits digging at the dirt in front of the pitching rubber. Now he's all set. Thompson getting squared away on that batter's box on the left side. 2 on and only 1 out. 2 runs home for the Tigers. Stretch in the pitch. Thompson takes a strike to the outside corner. Strike 1. Now again, the look for the sign. The stretch. Strike 1 pitch. Thompson hits a very high pop fly ball. Back of shortstop. Verizor back. Grubb coming on, and Johnny makes the grab. Throw back to second base, and LaFleur just made it. 2 outs. LaFleur at second. Staub at first. Brings up Rodriguez. Rodriguez slapped a single into center field and then was doubled up in the second inning of play. Aurelio hitting .277 at the moment. Early on, when Buddy Bell was right up there at the top of the American League in hitting, he was dueling with this fella, Rodriguez.
He had a great beginning.
The stretch. And the pitch to Rodriguez, fastball inside, ball 1.
One of the better things that may have happened to Aurelio, and he probably doesn't agree, the fact that he doesn't have to play every day. They're alternating with Mankowski, and it gives him a little time off, and I think he's the kind of fellow that needs it.
The stretch. 1-0 pitch. Curveball, chop foul to the screen, and the count is even at 1-1. Tigers have scored 2 runs here in the third inning. An error on Cox opened it up, then Dillard with a bunt single, then a single by LaFleur, and a sacrifice fly by Kemp. 1 ball and 1 strike. Pitch. Rodriguez wraps it up the middle into center field, a base hit. LaFleur turns third, he will score. Staub to second base, and the Tigers lead 3-0.
Rodriguez 2 for 2, and both his hits have gone right through the mound.
For Rodriguez, his 22nd run batted into the year. Mickey Stanley steps in. He banged into a 6-3 double play in the second inning of play. That run is unearned.
And any subsequent run in this inning will be unearned.
Stretch by Waits. And the pitch to Stanley takes high and outside, ball one. And now here to explain to you why that is, Herb Score.
Well, the rule of scoring is that when there's an error involved, you got to count that as an out. And with the error on the ball Wagner hit, we should already have 3 outs.
1-0 pitch. Curveball, high, ball 2.
That is a simplified way of explaining it, and that's really what it is. Wagner's run can't be earned because he was on through the error. Until there was 2 men out, any other run that scored could have been earned.
Which Dillard's run was.
Right.
2-0 the count. Straub at second. Rodriguez at first. Stretch by Waits. Pitch to Stanley. Inside, ball 3. Missed for the fastball. Lance Parrish on deck. Stretch by Waits. And the 3-0 pitch to Stanley. High and inside, ball 4, and the bases are loaded.
And Jeff Torborg heading for the mound.
That puts Straub at third. That puts Rodriguez at second, and it's going to put Freisleben in the bullpen.
Freisleben took a workout this afternoon with Jeff Torborg and Harvey Hannock down in the bullpen to see if they could do something about his delivery. They saw a few things last night that they thought he was perhaps not doing that might help him if he changed, and that's what they did down there today, and Jeff said he was pleased with what he saw.
Thus far, Waits has thrown 48 pitches. Torborg chatting with Alexander and Waits, and Durwood Merrill's going to go out and get in on the conversation and try to end it as quickly as possible. Lance Parrish will be batting with the bases loaded. 3 runs have already scored for the Detroit Tigers. Jeff has had his chat with Waits. Parrish, 6'3", 195 from Diamond Bar, California. At Evansville last year, he hit .279, but he slugged 25 homers and drove in 90 runs, then came to the Tigers at the end of the year. Hit only 196, but he hit 3 home runs in 12 games. This year, Parrish has hit 5 home runs. And for Lance, this is his 37th game of the year. So Freisleben in the bullpen. The bases are loaded. 2 outs in the third. The stretch by Waits, the pitch to Parrish, and Parrish chops a foul back to the base of the screen, strike 1. Mark Wagner on deck. Parrish is the 9th man to bat in the 3rd inning for the Detroit Tigers. 3-0 Detroit. The stretch, strike 1 pitch. Parrish swing and a miss of the curveball. Pitch was high and outside. He took a cut at it and missed, and the count is strike 2. Straub at third, Rodriguez at second, Stanley at first. The stretch by Waits. Here comes the 2-strike pitch to Parrish. Fastball outside and high, 1-2. Look in for the sign by the left-hander. The stretch. Time called. Parrish steps back. Now we're ready to go again as Lance steps back in. Waits peers in for the sign from Alexander. Stretch. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Parrish fans with the bases loaded to win the inning. It's the first strikeout for Waits, but the Tigers get 3 runs, only 1 of them earned. On a total of 3 base hits, there were a couple of walks and an error thrown in, and 3 men are left on. So at the end of 2 1/2 innings of play, the score, the Detroit Tigers 3 and the Cleveland Indians nothing.
You know, listening to Major League Baseball on 3WJ is a great way to follow the national pastime. But to really appreciate the game and the players' talents, at least once in a while, you should see a game in person. And those of us at 3WJ would like you to see the exciting Cleveland Indians on us during our Tribe Ticket Giveaway. All you have to do is send us your name, address, and phone number. And every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday during the noon news, we'll draw a name to win 2 tickets to an Indians home game of your choice. If your name is drawn, your tickets boom to the mail that same day. And we won't stick you out in the left field bleachers, but in box seats, so you'll be right next to the action. To enter, send your name, address, and phone number on a postcard or letter to Tribe Tickets, 3WJ, P.O. Box 373, Johnstown, Ohio, 43031. Again, that's Tribe Tickets, P.O. Box 373, Johnstown, Ohio, 43031. To win 2 box seat tickets to a Cleveland Indians baseball game of your choice. Entries are limited to 1 per week, so enter today and let 3WJ take you out to the ball game.
Home half of the third, Manning, Grubb, and Thornton against the right-hander Jim Slayton, who has been spotted a 3-0 lead. Catcher Milt May of the Tigers was the man that drove in the 1 millionth run in baseball. They had that sports quiz question up during the intermission. Rick Manning, a walk, got as far as second base of the first inning. The Indians have had people on. They've left 4 on over the first 2 innings. So the Tigers have the runs. Pitch to Manning, fastball, high and outside, ball 1. Rick batting average right where it was when the day began, 257. Wind up on the pitch. Rick fouls it back on the screen, and the count is even, and a ball and a strike. Jim Slayton winds up. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Manning, and Rick takes way outside. 2 balls and a strike.
Slayton's come up with the screwball.
Wind up. 2-1 pitch to Manning. Rick takes low inside. 3-1. Johnny Grubb on deck. Thompson at first, Dillard at second, Wagner at short, Rodriguez at third. 3-1 pitch to Manning. Rick takes a strike at the knees, full count of 3-2. Kemp in left, LaFleur in center, Stanley in right, Parrish catching, and Jim Slayton on the mound. Tigers lead 3-0 in the home half of the third. 3-2 pitch to Manning. Low and inside, ball 4. Manning walks for the second time. Johnny Grubb slapped a single into center field in the first inning of play, extending his hitting streak to 6-7 games in a row. Now John steps in again with Manning at first base, and nobody out in the third inning. Look in for the sign, the stretch, and the pitch. Grubb takes low, ball 1. Andre Thornton on deck. At the moment, Johnny Grubb hitting .243. Stretch, pitch, strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Grubb watched it go by. Again, the look in for the sign, the stretch by Slayton, and the pitch to Grubb. It's a very high fly ball to right field. Stanley quickly to his right. LaFleur is over there with him, and Stanley makes the catch. 1 out. Andre Thornton, throw back in, overshot first base as Manning had to skip back and went right to the catcher, Parrish. Thornton hit a fly ball to left field in the first inning of play. Thornton ready to go. Slayton looks in, gets the sign for Parrish. Manning leads at first base. They shift the outfield toward left and deep. Throw to first. Manning back to the bag. Bernie Carbo on deck. The stretch. A throw to first. Manning again back to the bag. A stretch. And the pitch to Thornton. He takes low. Good stop by Parrish. He dropped the ball, but it stayed right with him, and the count is 1-0. Parrish now smoothing some dirt out to the right of home plate. Andre Thornton waiting. Slayton stretches. Manning leads at first. 1-0 pitch. Thornton takes inside. Ball 2, 2-0. First of 2. Paxton against Wilcox in the nightcap. Look in for the sign. Thornton levels the lumber, and the throw to first puts Manning back in the bag again. The pitch. Fastball is low. Ball 3, 3-0. The stretch. Here comes the 3-0 pitch to Andy. Thornton swings away and slaps it to the shortstop. Over to second base. 1 down to first, double play. 1 on the 3-0 pitch, banged it back into a 6-4-3 twin killing, and the third inning is over. No runs, a walk, nobody left. At the end of 3, the Tigers 3, the Indians nothing.
Your financial security begins with a sound savings program, and that's why Central Trust has introduced Statement Savings. Central Trust Statement Savings accounts put your money to work while allowing you ready access to meet occasional needs. With no passbook to update or present, Central Trust can process your transaction quicker. You get a receipt for each transaction, plus you get a detailed statement of your savings activity. Deposits are guaranteed by the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation for up to $40,000 per account. With Statement Savings, you get interest compounded daily and paid monthly. Talk with a Central Trust banker today about Statement Savings. Central Trust, where better banking is the central idea.
It is only fitting and proper, folks, that before I turn things over to my partner, I pass along some outstanding news from the city of Chicago. The Cubs, with a run in the 10th, beat the Mets 9-8.
Go wonders never see.
Inning number 4, here's Herb Score.
Thank you, Joe Hagan, everybody. The Tigers lead 3-0 as Rick Waits winds it up and he throws. First pitch is foul off to the right out of play. Mark Wagner, he started last inning off by being safe on an error. And before the dust had cleared away, the Tigers scored 3 times. Next pitch to him, fastball at the knees, strike. Good fastball by Waits. Strike 2. Two-strike pitch, up too high. Ball 1, strike 2. Ground ball, right side, goes through a base hit. Mark Wagner just sort of reached out and slammed the ball on, pitched outside. He went right with it, slammed it between Thornton and Kuiper. Hit number 5 for the Tigers. And here's Steve Dillard lay down a bunt his first time up, really intending to sacrifice. Indians let the ball roll, and it came to rest right in the center of the foul line, about a third of the way down the line toward first. He's going to bunt again, does. First base side. Thornton backhands the ball, throws the first. Kuiper covering to just get him. Sacrifice will go 3. First baseman to the second baseman covering, 3-4. On to second goes Wagner, and heading for home plate. Top of the batting order, Ron LaFleur. LaFleur in the game has singled, driving in a run, and he's also had a bouncing ball to first base. LaFleur's batting average at .262. 6 home runs, 25 runs batted across. Right-hand batter waits for the runner at second. Throws the curve, it's up too high, ball 1. Rick is not as sharp as he's been in some games. His curveball has sort of been coming and going. Ball 1. And the pitch. Foul back off to the right, out of play. The Cubs with a victory in the 10th inning, 9-8 over the New York Mets. There's some hitting done in that game. 15 hits for the Mets, 13 for the Cubs, and 24,000 at Wrigley Field today. They are great fans. 1 ball and a strike. Fastball over the inside corner of the knee, strike 2. Ron LaFleur up in the front part of the batter's box, square stance. 1-2 pitch. Foul back. Ball 1, strike 2. Count stays. LaFleur waves that bat back and forth. Leans way over from the waist. Down too low. Not by very much. 2-2. And at second base is Mark Wagner. He singled and moved to second on a sacrifice. Waits to the belt. 2-2 delivery. Line drive, foul. It's the canvas rolled up along the third base side. Strike 2, ball 2. On deck, Steve Kemp. Rick Waits stares down at the mound. Now gets his foot on the pitching rubber, looks in for the sign. Ball 2 strikes. Line drive, center field. Manning coming on. Can't get to it. A base hit. Around third, racing for the plate is Wagner. Here's the throw. It is not in time. And down to second base goes LaFleur. LaFleur with his second hit and his second RBI. He'll go to second on the throw. Makes it the Tigers 4, the Indians nothing. 6 hits now for the Tigers. 1 man gone in the 4th inning. And Steve Kemp. Kemp walked in the 1st inning. Drove in a run with a sacrifice fly to center field his last time up. Kemp, a left-hand batter. Oh, he's one of those fellas that when he swings, he really takes a vicious cut at the ball. Side-on curve, and he slips it over the outside corner at the knee, strike. One strike pitch. Curve is a bit low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Rick waits. Has to wait as Kemp is walking around outside the batter's box. Rusty Staub on deck. 1 ball and a strike. Side-on curve is a bit inside, and Dave Freisleben is running down to the bullpen again. He was up throwing last inning. It looks like he's going to start again. 2 balls and a strike. Waits, checks the runner at second base, comes to the plate. Fastball, strike, a lot of high inside part of the plate. Kemp was going to swing, didn't, but the ball was over. Two balls, 2 strikes. Rick waits, all ready to go. Pitch, side-on curve, high fly ball, center field. Manning drifting back a few steps there and makes the grab. Tag at second, racing to third is LaFleur, and he's in there standing up. So Kemp flies to center field, 2 men are gone. LaFleur has reached third, and the bat is Rusty Staub. Staub has flied to center, he has walked. Tigers lead it 4-0. They scored 3 times in the 3rd. They've added 1 here in the 4th. Waits working out of the set position, backs off. Now he's going to throw to second base to see if he left too soon. The appeal is made at second, and the umpire at first base, who was covering on the play because the second base umpire goes out to the outfield to make sure the catch is made properly. And umpire at first, Marty Springfield, says he did not leave too soon. First pitch to Staub, ground ball right side. Kuiper to his left, dives, grabs it on the outfield grass, up throws, gets him. Fine play by Kuiper. Retires the Tigers in the 4th. A run, 2 hits, no errors, 1 left. At the middle of 4 here in the first game of a doubleheader. The score: Tigers 4, Indians nothing.
The day is gone. It's time to let it go. It's time. Say gently, bird. And for the kingdom, and settle back and listen. No matter what you do, no matter when or where, you know a glass of blood is like an angel when you get it burned by. That's right. Nothing goes with that special time you call yours like the clean, fresh taste of Budweiser. When you say Budweiser, you say Budweiser, voice sounds good.
We go now into inning number 4 for the Indians. They have some catching up to do, trailing 4-0. For the Indians, Carbo, Alexander, and Kuiper coming along against Jim Slayton, the right-hander. The veteran has pitched very effectively here over the first 3 innings. He has surrendered 4 hits, but when he's had to have it, he's had it. Slayton has walked a couple, has not had a strikeout. Slayton with a fastball, curveball, slider, and looks like he's come up with a screwball, using that as his off-speed pitch. Bernie Carbo, first time up, grounded out to the second baseman. Slayton has the sign, winds it up, he throws. Fastball is high, ball 1. Next pitch, swing and a miss. Fastball blew it right by him. Not playing Carbo to pull the ball. They have pushed LaFleur about 5 steps to the left of center. A little unusual deployment for this fella. Change up, swing and a miss. Strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bernie Carbo says, let me have a look at that baseball. Umpire Merrill looks it over and said, well, you are right, Bernie. There's something not right with it. We'll throw it out. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Check on the sign, the pitch. Curveball, swing and a miss, strike 3. Good overhand curve. And Jim Slayton records his first strikeout. That'll bring to the plate Indian catcher Gary Alexander. Gary has flied to right field his only time up. 13 home runs, 3 of those came as an Indian. He's driven in 33 and an overall batting average of 227. Make it 226 now.
You stopped next door to meet Phil Lansford, the Indians' top draftee. That may be the largest shortstop in captivity.
Well, his brother's a big gent, too, Carney. Fastball down, too low, ball 1. Young Mr. Lansford will be heading for Batavia, where he'll start his professional career. Down, too low with a curveball. 2 balls, no strikes on the right-hand hitting Gary Alexander. Indians trail in this game 4-0. We are in the 4th inning. 2-0 pitch. High foul drifting back out of play. 2 balls and a strike. Gary Alexander steps back in. Gary, a long, lean individual. Really a very enthusiastic young fella. 2-1 pitch, down a little bit low, 3-1. Wayne Kuiper on deck with a lid donut up on the bat, loosening up his hands, wrists, and shoulders. 3-1. Ground ball foul out behind the coach at third base, Joe Nosek. 3-2. Sounded like that bat may have cracked, and Alexander checking it over. Apparently it is not cracked, although he's banged on the ground a few times. Can't find anything wrong with it. Steps back in. 3-2 pitch. Curve is up too high. Ball 4. The Indians have a man on. There's 1 man out of the 4th inning. And the batter will be Dwayne Kuiper. Kuiper with a 10-game hitting streak on the line tonight. First time up, he was nipped at first base on a throw by the third baseman. Dwayne Kuiper. Well, I tell you, look at the All-Star balloting, and you see how far back he is, and it's really unfair. Ground ball, back to the mound, one out, grabbed by Slayton, the second one out, back to first, they get the double play. Good, quick fielding by Slayton. His follow-through carried him to the first base side. He recovered quickly and stabbed that ball. And 1-6-3 on the double dip. And that is all for the Indians, as the Tigers have turned over 2 double plays in this game. 4th inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, and none left. End of 4 innings in the first game of the doubleheader. Tigers 4, Indians nothing.
Only the rich can afford to buy elsewhere. That's a little slogan that I've made up. This is Dave Smith of Dave Smith Ford. And that is right. Only the rich can afford to buy elsewhere, because we will save you money on a new Ford, car, or truck. We have a very fine selection of used cars also at this time. We need more used cars, so if you do have a used car or especially a used truck you want to trade, bring on over to us, because we do need them. Dave Smith Ford, halfway between Columbus and Newark.
National Lampoon presents True Facts. Authentic, documented, we kid you not, strictly on the up and up, verified, absolutely the real thing, honest to goodness, unadulterated.
And now let's read facts are yours. Monday through Friday nights at 11:55, right here on 3WJ Mellow Rock 103.
Fifth inning, the Tigers will come along with Jason Thompson, Aurelio Rodriguez, and Mickey Stanley. The Indians trail the Tigers 4-0. Rick Waits gave up 3 in the 3rd inning. 2 of those runs were unearned. He surrendered a lone run in the 4th. Jason Thompson, left-hand batter, strides to home plate. He has banged the ground ball to shortstop. He slides to left field, 0-2. Left-hander facing left-hander. Waits, winds it up, he delivers. Sidearm curve, driven deep to right field. This is really tagged. Back goes Dade at the wall. He reaches up and he grabs it right off the top of the fence. Paul Dade backs up to the wall and played it perfectly. Jason Thompson, about 2 feet from having number 18. 1 gone in the 5th inning. And the batter, Aurelio Rodriguez. He has twice been up. He has twice slammed base hits right through the middle. One of those hits drove in a run. Rodriguez digs in with that right foot, slightly closed stance. Very erect stance. Curveball down and low, ball 1. Danny Pridemore is in Elyria Memorial Hospital. He's a great baseball fan and a great Indian fan, Danny. We hope to get well quickly. Fastball up too high, bouncing back to the screen off the top of Alexander's glove. 2 balls, no strikes. Type is back on the outfield grass, shading towards second. Fastball missed inside, 3-0. Waits has walked 3. He has had 1 strikeout. It was a big strikeout. Came in the 3rd inning with the bases loaded. Fastball, strike over the outside part of the plate. Mickey Stanley on deck. 3-1 pitch, bounce toward third. Cox to his left, spears it. Throws, he gets him. 2 up, 2 down in the 5th inning. Waits has retired the last 4 men that he's faced. And that brings along the veteran right fielder, Mickey Stanley. Mickey has grounded out to short. That was a double play. And then he walked. Mickey Stanley, right-hand batter, 2 years ago in his shouldn't say younger days, because not that old now, but curveball missed inside. Mickey was really an outstanding center fielder. Had good speed, great instincts, and a fine throwing arm. Then he hurt his arm. Never quite came back the way he used to throw, but he's still a very good outfielder. Next pitch is a ball 2 outside, I think. Merrill moved the right arm, but I think he moved it indicating that the ball was outside. 2-0. 2-0 pitch by Waits. Fastball swung on a miss. 2 balls and a strike. Slightly around and left the outfield for Stanley. Good room on the right field line. Curveball, swing and a miss. Oh, a dandy. Waits took a little off that curve, and he had Stanley completely fooled. Ball 2, strike 2. 2 men gone. 5th inning. Tigers on top here in the first game of the doubleheader. 4-0. Ground ball, shortstop side. Grabbed by Tommy. Ariza throws, gets him. 6-3 on the out. And in the inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, none left. At the middle of 5, the score, Tigers 4, Indians nothing.
You know, listening to Major League Baseball on 3WJ is a great way to follow the national pastime. But to really appreciate the game and the players' talents, at least once in a while, you should see a game in person. And those of us at 3WJ would like you to see the exciting Cleveland Indians on us during our Tribe Ticket Giveaway. All you have to do is send us your name, address, and phone number. And every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday during the noon news, we'll draw a name to win 2 tickets to an Indians home game of your choice. Your name is drawn, your tickets put into the mail that same day. And we won't stick you out in the left field bleachers, but in box seats, so you'll be right next to the action. To enter, send your name, address, and phone number on a postcard or letter to Tribe Tickets, 3WJ, P.O. Box 373, Johnstown, Ohio, 43031. Again, that's Tribe Tickets, P.O. Box 373, Johnstown, Ohio, 43031. To win 2 box seat tickets to a Cleveland Indians baseball game of your choice. Entries are limited to 1 per week, so enter today and let 3WJ take you out to the ball game.
For the Indians, we go into inning number 5. Cox, Ariza, and Dade will come along against the right-hander, Jim Slayton. Slayton has been touched by the Indians for 4 hits, but they have not been able to score off him yet. Ted Cox had a base hit to right field his first time up. Right-hand hitting third baseman stands in. Tommy Verizza on deck. He's also had a base hit tonight. Cox and Verizza had singles with 2 outs. Drives to right field. Back goes Stanley. He's there. He has it. 1 pitch and 1 out in the 5th. In the 3rd inning with 2 men out, Cox single, Verizza single, and then they got Dade on a ground ball that forced the runner. Here's Tommy Verizza, 1 for 1 in the game. His batting average up to 254. Tommy, right-hand batter, crouching from the knees, leaning into the waist. Looks like he wants to bunt. Pulls the bat back out of the way. The fastball is over the inside corner for strike. Next pitch, a slider, sweeps outside, ball 1. 1 ball and a strike. Wind up by the right-hander. Curveball wrapped toward third. Big hop for Rodriguez. Fires it across. 2 up, 2 down. Inning number 5 for the Indians. 4-0 for the Tigers in the scoring department. And here's Paul Dade, who's 0 for 2. Don't forget now, we have a second game to follow. It's really a great evening. If you have not made plans or undecided what to do, stop on down. Second game, the Milt Wilcox and Mike Paxton hooking up. Outside, ball 1. Then tomorrow, Indians play a 12 o'clock game, 12:05 to be precise. And after that, it's goodbye for the weekend, but they'll be back next Monday and Tuesday nights against the Baltimore Orioles. Foul to the screen, strike 1. 1 ball and a strike. And Tuesday night's game, of course, is the 4th of July. Indians planning a huge fireworks show. They say the biggest and best ever. If you've been here before, you know what that means. Inside and low. 2 balls and a strike. And then the following weekend, 7th, 8th, and 9th, just before the All-Star break, the Red Sox are here. Fastball is over but low. Not by much. 3-1. Red Sox win for Friday night, a Saturday night, and a big Sunday afternoon game. It's bat day. Ground ball, shortstop side, backhanded by Wagner. The long throw, he gets him. Mark Wagner throws out Paul Dade, 6-3 on that out. And in the inning, the Indians are gone 1-2-3. 3 up, 3 down, nothing across. And the 5 score. Tigers 4, Indians nothing.
Gather around, folks. Gather around. Like my sign says, it's Trader John's Traveling Emporium, the general store on wheels. Trader John's wagon has everything and the best of everything. Just smell this soap, little lady. And for you, sir, hand tools, handguns, and the finest fresh chewing tobacco. That'll be mail pouch chewing tobacco, gentlemen.
The story of a great American tradition, Mail Pouch chewing tobacco. Mail Pouch was America's first brand of leaf tobacco, and it's been pleasing me ever since. That's because Mail Pouch has its own special, one-of-a-kind flavor that comes from over 90 years' experience in giving tobacco chewers what they want. A clean, fresh taste that's not too strong, but isn't too sweet either. A flavor that really lasts and satisfies a man all day long. So if you haven't tried Mail Pouch lately, chew a few packs and taste the Mail Pouch difference. You'll see why it's become a tradition to chew Mail Pouch and treat yourself to the best.
6th inning, Lance Parrish, Mark Wagner, and then Steve Dillard will face Rick Waite. Tigers leading 4-0. In that weekend series coming up with the Red Sox, it's a Friday night game, a Saturday night game. It's a 20-night doubleheader starting at 5:30. And then on Sunday, which is the 9th of July, there will be a bat day, and it's a big deal for everybody. Youngsters 14 under get those very fine Little League bats by Adirondack. So make some plans to be with it. Upcoming series next Monday and Tuesday nights against Baltimore. Umpires Springstead and Merrill having a little conference. I think Merrill had something in his eye, and also they wanted to get the lights turned on, indicating that Indians should have the lights turned on now. Lance Parrish struck out with the bases loaded his last time up. First time up, grounded out to the second baseman. Ground ball, shortstop side. Tommy Verizza has it on the big bounce. Throws, gets him. 1 up, 1 down. 6-3 on that out. Blue sky is still with us, 80 degrees. A delightful evening for baseball. Rick Waite will now face Mark Wagner. He is 1 for 2, and he has scored a run. Safe on an error his first time, single to right in the 4th inning. Rick Waite winds it up, and he throws. Inside and low, ball 1. Wagner, right-hand batter. Now let's see, Trammell plays shortstop in the second game. Fastball is over but low. 2-0. Two-0 pitch. Check swing. It hits the bat and then hits Gary Alexander. Alexander slow to get up. Jeff Torborg running out. Jimmy Warfield out there also. 1 game completed. This afternoon in Chicago, it took 10 innings. The Cubs prevailed 9-8 over the New York Mets. Looks like that ball may have hit Gary on the right arm somewhere, and Jimmy Warfield is going to apply that ethyl chloride to deaden the pain and help prevent some swelling, they hope. Rick Waite, he has gone all the way, surrendering 4 runs. Tigers have picked up 6 hits. 2 of the runs scored off them unearned. They're still working on Gary Alexander now. They say he's all right. Jimmy Warfield gives him a pat on the back. We're ready to go. Second game, Mike Paxton for the Indians. And we'll be seeing former Indian Milt Wilcox. Rick Waite nods just to the sign. He checks in with the sign again. Now he has what he wants. 3-0 pitch. Make it 3-2 now. First, that other pitch was fouled off. Yeah, scoreboard had it 3-0, but the ball was fouled off, and now it's 3-1. And it's 3-0. That curveball was low. 3-1 pitch. Curve. This one is not low. Slips it over the inside corner. 3-2. Wind up by Waite. Bouncy ball, first base side. One hop to Andre. Runs to the bag. He gets there ahead of Wagner. And there's 2 men gone in the 6th inning. Steve Dillett. He has singled and sacrificed. His single was an attempted sacrifice. It was bunting. The sacrifice to run it along, and then the ball died right on the foul line. As the Indians let it roll, he ended up with a base hit. Right-in batter, former member of the Boston Red Sox. Down too low, ball 1. Wind up. Waits, delivers. Fastball catches the inside corner, waist high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Waits looks like he's getting better as he goes along. 1-1 pitch. Curveball, chop foul. This one again in the home plate area. Hit Gary Alexander, rolled off to the right, picked up by Sam Beach, the ball man. Ball 1, strike 2. Indian left-hander ready. Ground ball, chopped to the third base side. It's going to roll foul. Picked up by Teddy Cox outside the bag. Steve Dillett pulls on the bill of the cap. I should say the batting helmet. Walks back in. One ball, 2 strike pitch. Curveball, strike 3 call. The dandy over the outside corner. Dillett is called out on strike, and Rick Waite has retired the last 8 men in a row. Second strikeout for the waiter. And at the middle of the 6th inning, the score, the Tigers 4, the Indians nothing.
Cavaliers, Browns, and Indians. WWWJ Johnstown.
Rick Manning has walked twice. He faces Slayton. Slayton has given up 4 hits, and that's been it. There's a strike over the outside corner with the slider. Right down around the knees. 1 strike pitch. Inside with a fastball. 1 ball and a strike. Next pitch is bounced to the right side. Into right field, a base hit. Rick Manning singles to right, and he's having a perfect night. 2 walks and a single. 4-0. The Indians trail, and they will try and get something moving against Jim Slayton. Johnny Grubb stands in. John has singled. He has flied to right. Manning at first. Indians with their 5th base hit. Check to the runner. Here's the pitch. Fastball is high. Ball 1. Tigers scored 3 times in the 3rd, a run in the 4th, and that is the story on the scoring thus far. Ground ball, shortstop side. Grabbed by Wagner. 2nd, 1 out. Back to first. They get the double play. That is the 3rd double play at the 2nd double play the Tigers have had. 3rd double play the Tigers had. Right the first time. I looked in the scorebook and couldn't find it, but it is the 3rd one. And that is a quick way to stuff out a prospective rally. Here's Andre Thornton. He banged into a double play, and he's flied to left. Fastball is high, ball 1. Tigers with 6 hits. The Indians have 4. 1 error in the game belongs to the Indians, and 2 of the runs scored unearned. The fastball is outside, 2-0. Andre's batting average stands at .268. Indian first baseman stands in. Outside again, 3-0. Indians tomorrow afternoon, 12:05, right back here with the Tigers. Outside, ball 4. On 4 pitches, Andre gets the free ticket. That is the 4th walk the Indians have coaxed from Slayton, and brings along Bernie Carbo. Grounded to second, struck out swinging. Slayton walking on the grass back of the mound now comes up on top. Goes right by that rosin sack and gets to the top of the mound, and he's ready to work. Pitch, Carbo takes the fastball high and away, ball 1. Running out to the mound is Lance Parrish. He wants to see what's going on with Jim Slayton, who has suddenly been falling behind the hitters. Milwaukee is entertaining the New York Yankees in the doubleheader tonight. The first game will have Dick Tidrow going against Mike Caldwell. Yankees with a home run in the 14th inning last night by Greg Nettles, beat the Red Sox. The fastball, that's an E, strike, 1-1. Bernie Carbo, a former member of the Red Sox. Feet close together, left-hand batter. Pitch to him. Curve is a bit outside and high. Ball 2 and a strike. Thornton at first, 2 men down, 6th inning, 4-0. The Tigers have the lead. Pitch, fastball, high and outside, 3-1. Carbo has had a look at Joe Nosick coaching at third. Stands back in. Down to low. Ball. Oh, no, it is not. Carbo started for first, and then Derwood Merrill raised the right hand rather slowly. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Fastball was right around the knees. Bernie thought it might have been lower than that. By Merrill said it's a strike. Carbo taking his turn around the batter's box. Now at home plate again, conferring with the umpire. 3-2, 2 men out. And on this pitch, Thornton will go. Fastball missed outside. Now it's ball 4. With 2 men out, back-to-back walks to Thornton and Carbo. And brings up Gary Alexander. He is 0 for 1 with a walk. 5 base run balls charged to Slayton.
Slayton has now struck out 39 and walked 47 this year.
And that is really not the way he pitches. He's normally a better control pitcher than that. First time tonight, we're going to get some activity down in the bullpen for the Tigers. Probably going to be Hiller. That's who it is. Don Hiller, the left-hander. Gary Alexander, right-hand batter, closed stance. Indian runners at first and at second. A fastball low and outside. Gary gets into one here. We'd have ourselves a very interesting ball game. Ball 1. 6th inning. Indians trailing 4-0. But the Tribe with runners at first and at second. Wayne Kuiper on deck. Swing and a miss. Good fastball by Slayton. Fired that one right up around the letters. Ball 1, strike 1. One pitch. Fastball just missed outside. 2-1. Slayton trying to nip those corners, and he's not missing by much, but doesn't take much. 2-1 delivery. At the knees, strike 2, 2-2. Alexander, I don't think overly thrilled with that call, backed away. Now stands back in. 2-2 pitch. Inside with a fastball, leans it back, 3-2. 2 men out, full count, and off they will go with this pitch. Thornton from second. Carbo from first. Jim Slayton takes the sign. He's ready. Here it comes. The foul ball will do all over again. Hit the catcher's shin guard and bounce back to the screen. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Indians are playing in their 7th doubleheader. They have not won one. They've split 5 and lost 1. 3 balls, 2 strikes to pitch. Long drive, left field. Back goes Kemp at the wall. He leaps. It's gone. Home run. Gary Alexander hits number 14. Home runs, 36 RBIs, and the Indians are right back in this one. It's 4-3. And Ralph Houk is walking to the mound. John Hiller in the bullpen. Slayton walked 2 men with 2 men out. Went to 3-2 on Alexander, and he had a low slider, a line shot into the seats and left. And the call has gone to the bullpen. We're going to see John Hiller. So for Slayton, he went 5 2/3. Has allowed 3 runs. The Indians touched him for 6 base hits. He walked 5, and that was his undoing. He had 1 strikeout. He leaves the game. He can be the winner. He can't be the loser. And they'll leave it up to John Hiller. We'll be back to tell you about John Hiller after this timeout.
And for the and no matter what you do, no matter when or where, you know a glass of blood is like an easy chair. When you said you said it all. When you said you said it all. Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis.
John Hiller's made 25 relief appearances this year, covering 56 innings. 41 hits, 18 runs, 15 of them earned. He struck out 49 in those 56 innings, walked only 17, giving up 4 homers. He's won 6, he's lost 3 with 7 saves. Hiller with 6 wins, 3 defeats, and a very fine 2.41 ERA. Hiller, a left-hander at 6 feet even, 165 pounds. Herb?
And John Hiller comes on to see if he can save a game for Slayton. Slayton made 84 pitches in his 5 2/3 innings. He threw 22 of them in this inning. Gary Alexander hit a home run to put the Indians right back in business. 4-3, Tigers lead, and here's Dwayne Kuiper. Kuiper 0 for 2 in the game. Looks at the curve up high. I think I said 6 hits off Slayton. He gave up only 5. Also walked 5. Left-hander ready and delivers. Looping fly ball, shallow left field. Coming on is Kemp. He is there. He has it. The side retired. But in the 6th inning, the Indians 3 runs, 2 hits, no errors, and nobody left. We have played 6 here in the first game in Cleveland. The score, Tigers 4, Indians 3.
You know, listening to Major League Baseball on 3WJ is a great way to follow the national pastime. But to really appreciate the game and the players' talents, at least once in a while, you should see a game in person. And most of us at 3WJ would like you to see the exciting Cleveland Indians on us during our Tribe Ticket Giveaway. All you have to do is send us your name, address, and phone number. And every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday during the noon news, we'll draw a name to win 2 tickets to an Indians home game of your choice. If your name is drawn, your tickets put into the mail that same day. And we won't stick you out in the left field bleachers, but in box seats, so you'll be right next to the action. To enter, send your name, address, and phone number on a postcard or letter to Tribe Tickets, 3WJ, P.O. Box 373, Johnstown, Ohio, 43031. Again, that's Tribe Tickets, P.O. Box 373, Johnstown, Ohio, 43031. To win 2 box seat tickets to a Cleveland Indians baseball game of your choice. Entries are limited to 1 per week, so enter today and let 3WJ take you out to the ball game.
Sanders' 3-run blast in the 6th inning has put the Indians right back in this game. Tigers picked up 3 in the 3rd when an error and a bunt single that hung the chalk stripe opened the door. LaFleur singled home a run. Kemp brought another with a sacrifice fly, and Rodriguez singled one home. And a single, a sacrifice, and LaFleur's second hit drove in another one in the 4th. Pitch to LaFleur, one hopper back to Kuiper. Has it, throws it, got him. Now LaFleur is 2 for 4 on the night. And this will bring on Steve Kemp. Kemp walked in the 1st inning, had that sacrifice fly in the 3rd, and hit a fly ball to center field in the 4th. Hitting .275. The only other action currently in baseball, the start of a twilight doubleheader in Milwaukee, the Yankees against the Brewers, Kidrow against Caldwell. And in about 15 minutes, Baltimore will take another shot at Toronto, or should I say Toronto will take another shot at Baltimore. Wind up on the pitch to Kemp, the curve ball. There's a strike. Strike 1. Top of the 7th, 4-3 Detroit. Pitch to Kemp, moves as if to bunt, takes the pitch low and away, ball 1, 1-1. See some of the Shriners starting to form out beyond the left center field fence and the runway out there. They will be parading between the games. 1-1 pitch. Curve ball, beauty, strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, that big slow curve. Top of the 7th, 1 out, nobody on. Rick Waits cranks up the 1-2 pitch to Kemp, slaps it foul, back out of play, and the count is still 1-2. Well, unfortunately, due to the males, we missed a couple of birthdays on the 25th. Charles Harvell and Maxine Harvell of Cleveland, Ohio here. They were celebrating their birthday. There's a foul ball off to the left, still 1 ball, 2 strikes. Mr. Harvell with the Ford Motor Company for 23 years. Pitch, low and inside to Kemp. And that takes the count even at 2 balls, 2 strikes. That was Rick Waits' 100th pitch in this game. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 1 out in the 7th. Pitch to Kemp, curve ball, rides high. Full count of 3-2. And the next pitch wrapped over the mound to the shortstop Verizon. Tom near the bag grabs and throws. Safe. Thornton came inside the bag to get the throw. Spun around, tried to tag Kemp, but he beat it. Now Kemp is safe at first base with 1 out. We'll wait to see whether they rule that a hit or possibly an error. That's an error on the throw. Indians' second error. First one opened the door for a 3-run uprising. Rusty Staub, the batter. Staub 0 for 2. He walked once, and he slams one right up the middle into center field, a base hit. Manning in, picks up the ball. Now the Tribe looking at Tiger runners at first and at second with 1 out.
And Rusty Staub, he has that short little swing, and he really pops the ball. Indians are going to get some activity in the bullpen.
That is the 7th hit off Rick Waite.
Going to be Sid Manji. And I think Spillner will also start to throw.
Jason Thompson has bounced to short, popped to left, fly deep to right.
And it is Spillner.
Spillner, the right-hander, Manji, the lefty, and Bo Diaz going back down to the bullpen to help Ron Pruitt and Dave Duncan with the catching chores. And Jeff Torborg walking to the mound to talk to Waite with Kemp at second and Staub at first. 1 out in the 7th inning. The Tigers are leading 4-3. Only other score on the board, the Cubs in 10 innings today beat the Mets 9-8. They were down 4-0 at one point in the game. came back to lead 8-5. The Mets tied it with 3 in the ninth, and the Indians got the game winner with a run in the last half of the night. In the last half of the 10th inning, Ray Burris in relief over Metzger. Mets had all the home runs today, 3 of them. So with Manji and Spelner heating in the bullpen, Jason Thompson steps in for the Tigers. Thompson 0 for 3 on the night and 2 for 12 in the series. His batting average at .304, and he has a 12-game hitting streak on the line. That last at bat for Thompson, he drove Dade right to the top of the wall in right. Dade plucked off the drive for the out. Pitch to Thompson, curveball, ran back to Kuiper, spins to Verizon 1, back to first, out, double play. Fine eyelash at first base. But it's a double play, and the Indians get the second of the double plays for themselves. The Tigers have turned over 3. And so in the top of the 7th inning, that error does no damage. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error, and 1 man left on base. We have arrived at the home half of the 7th inning, and for the first time tonight, you Indian fans, up on your feet for the 7th inning stretch. The score, the Cleveland Indians 3 and the Detroit Tigers have 4.
We live in complicated times, so every now and then it's nice to get back to the basics and really get your money's worth. At Spitzer Dodge in Columbus, you can with the 1978 Dodge Colt starting at a low $3,545. Just think, a new car at a used car price, plus exceptional gas mileage. So stop by Spitzer Dodge and get back to the basics with the Dodge Colt for an uncomplicated $3,545. The new car at a used car price. See you at Spitzer Dodge, 5100 East Main Street in Columbus.
Now there are 2 fine Super Duper stores in Newark to serve you better and save you money. Delicious Super Duper red ripe watermelons are just $1.59 each. Fully cooked smoked hams are just 88 cents a pound. And these are sharing portions. Also, choice beef chuck steak is a low 88 cents a pound. And this is butter cut. For the Super Duper 2-pound and purchase, Kraft cheese singles and 12-ounce packages are just 89 cents. And a 10-pound bag of red and white chocolate is only 99 cents. 12-ounce packs of Folgers Wheaters are 58 cents and potatoes and shakes are just 38 cents a dozen. At the Newark Super Duper stores nearest you in Newark, on coupons available at the store.
The ball loose or something loose on the warning path down the right side, and it is retrieved by Marty Springstead, the first base umpire, who flips it down to the ball boy. Ted Cox singled to right field in the 2nd inning and fly to right field in the 5th. First pitch by Hiller, and Cox takes the strike, and the letters strike 1. Rodriguez guarding the line deep at 3rd. Wind up by Hiller, and the pitch. Cox swings and misses, strike 2. Cox, Verizon, in the top of the order, Paul Day. 2-strike pitch. Low and inside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. John Hiller in relief of Jim Slayton. Hiller came on to get the final out of the 6th inning. Pitch to Cox, chops a foul right at the plate, and the count's still 1 ball, 2 strikes. Indians' offensive story summed up in 2 walks and Gary Alexander's blast in the 6th inning of play. Wind up on the 1-2 pitch to Ted Cox. Swing and a miss, struck him out.
You talk about a fellow whose home runs have been productive. The last 3 home runs Alexander's hit, a grand slammer and 2 3-run shots.
Tom Verizon singled to center field in the 2nd inning and bounced to 3rd in the 5th. 1 for 2 on the night. Wind up by the left-hander, the pitch to Verizon. Tom swings and the bat flies right out of his hand. Strike 1. And Beach retrieves the bat, gets it back to Tommy. Paul Dade on deck. John Hiller, one of the very best at doing just this thing, holding a team in check, saving ball games. Strike 1 pitch. Verizon takes low and inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. A man who battled back from a heart attack. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Verizon. Curveball high. 2 ball. Call it a strike. Sherwood Merrill raised that right arm after giving it a good look, and the count is 1-2. Hiller wasting no time, throws again. Verizon drives a foul to the right side. It will fade out of play into the seat, well beyond the first base dugout. still 1 ball, 2 strikes. One-two pitch. Reiser takes a fastball inside to even the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Tigers lead 4-3 in the home half of the 7th inning. 2-2 pitch. Reiser takes another fastball inside. Full count of 3-2. Thompson at first. Gillard at second. Wagner at short. Rodriguez at third. An outfield of Kemp, LaFleur, and Stanley. Parrish catching. Hiller pitching. Reiser taking low, ball 4. Well, Reiser walks. First one of those given up by Hiller. A total of 6 by Tiger pitching. And here's Paul Dade. Dade has flied to right. Been safe on an inning-ending fielder's choice to the shortstop. And bounced to the shortstop again. 0 for 3. Trying to extend a hitting streak to 7 games in a row. In this series, he's 2 for 11. Stretch by Hiller. Pitch. Dade takes the fastball. Strike 1.
John Hiller, when he first came out of the bullpen, used to just reach back and fire. Now he's learned to change speeds. He throws a good slider. Fine changeup.
A stretch. Pitch to Dade. Paul swings and misses. Strike 2. Joe Nasick, the third base coach. Rocky Calavito at first. A stretch by Hiller. 2-strike pitch. Dade hits the ball to third. Rodriguez to his left gets it. Around the horn to second. 1 back to first. Double play. And again, the Tigers pull a twin killing to retire the side. It's their 4th double play of the game. No runs, no hits, a walk, and nobody left. And at the end of 7 innings of play, Detroit 4, Cleveland 3.
Company. We live in complicated times, so every now and then it's nice to get back to the basics and really get your money's worth. At Spitzer Dodge in Columbus, you can with the 1978 Dodge Colt starting at a low $3,545. Just think, a new car at a used car price, plus exceptional gas mileage. So stop by Spitzer Dodge and get back to the basics with the Dodge Colt for an uncomplicated $3,545. The new car at a used car price. See you at Spitzer Dodge, 5100 East Main Street in Columbus.
Every year, plant and animal pests and diseases cost Americans $12 billion. Who pays? You do. When you buy food, when you pay taxes. Many of our most destructive diseases and pests are foreign invaders. They come back from abroad with travelers like you. A free booklet about this problem is called Traveler's Tips. Don't be part of the problem. Write to Traveler's Tips, USDA, Washington, D.C. 20250. Or ask your travel agent.
Rodriguez, Stanley, and Parrish. Indians spend the weekend in Toronto, come home Monday night for a family night game against the Baltimore Orioles, and then on Tuesday night, July the 4th, going to be a fireworks display to end all fireworks displays right here at the stadium after that 7:35 game with the Birds. Aurelio Rodriguez, 2 hits in his first 2 trips. Drove in a run with the second one in the 3rd inning, and then bounced to 3rd in the 5th. Batting average of .280. Tigers have turned over 4 double plays, and the Indians 2 in this first game. First pitch, curveball, strike 1 to Rodriguez. Top of the 8th, 4-3 Detroit. Pitch, Rodriguez, it's a drive down the left field line. It is a fair ball into the corner, and one bounce into the seats. Ground rule double.
Rodriguez has had himself quite a night. He is now 3 for 4.
Well, the Tigers have a man on. 8 hits off Waite. Spellner in the bullpen. And the batter is Mickey Stanley. Stanley bashed into a double play in the 2nd inning, walked in the 3-run 3rd, bounced to the shortstop to win the 5th. 0 for 2 on the night. 4-3 Detroit in the top of the 8th. The stretch, Waite's pitch, Stanley takes high and inside, ball 1. going to be Paxton against Wilcox in the nightcap of this Twilight Twin Bill. The stretch, 1-0 pitch. Stanley wraps the ball to first, runner going to third. Thornton up with the ball after blocking it with his body, steps on the bag. Stanley is out. And Rodriguez goes to third with one out, and Jeff Torborg heads for the mound. He has Spillner in the bullpen. Lance Parrish due to bat with a runner at third. And Torborg is called for Spillner. Oh, Rick Waits goes 7 1/3 innings. Will not get his 10th complete game tonight. Has given up 8 base hits. Thus far, 4 runs, 2 of them earned. He walked 3, and he struck out 2. And he threw a total of 108 pitches in this contest. Dan Spillner will be on in relief. We'll tell you more about Dan after this timeout.
We live in complicated times, so every now and then it's nice to get back to the basics and really get your money's worth. At Spitzer Dodge in Columbus, you can with the 1978 Dodge Colt starting at a low $3,545. Just think, a new car at a used car price, plus exceptional gas mileage. So stop by Spitzer Dodge and get back to the basics with the Dodge Colt for an uncomplicated $3,545. The new car at a used car price. See you at Spitzer Dodge, 5100 East Main Street in Columbus.
Burt Jones calls his own plays. The world shouldn't have as much to do with the kind of family as within him. But as much a part of it, he said he doesn't have to carry the child for very much. If you're going to have sex, be well aware of the consequences. If you're not ready to have children, make sure that you use some kind of contraceptive.
Parenthood is not a game. Don't play around with it. A message from the U.S. Public Health Service.
Dan Spillner comes on. The last time he came out of the bullpen was on Monday night. He faced 7 batters. He struck out 5 of them, and he retired them all. So Dan Spillner, the right-hander, 6'1", 190 pounds. Excuse me. Spillner, for the Indians, making his 7th appearance. He's had a save, he's had a win and no losses. Earned run average is at 2. In 9 innings, he's allowed just 4 hits, and he has struck out 8. He will face the Tigers with a runner on third, 1 out. 8th inning, Tigers leading 4-3.
And Milt May will bat for Parrish. May also a catcher, then would stay on and catch. Milt May is hitting .270 with 7 homers and 24 runs batted in. And in this series thus far, Milt May is 2 for 5 with a run scored and an RBI. Left-hand batter. Runner at third, 1 out. Infield drawn tight. Pitch. Line drive. Foul down the first base line to the ball boys. Strike 1. Thornton at first. Kuiper at second. Verizon at short. Cox at third. They're all playing inside the baseline. Grubb in left. Manning in center. Dade in right. Alexander catching. Spillner on the mound. Here's the stretch of the strike 1 pitch. And May hits another drive. Foul down the right side into the chairs. And the count is strike 2. Dick Trzaskowski coaching at first. Freddie Hatfield at third. Ralph Houck on the dugout steps in the third base dugout as the Tigers lead 4-3 in the top of the 8th with a runner at third and 1 out. Stretch by Spillner. And the 2-strike pitch to May. Strike 3. Fastball.
Right down at the knees.
2 outs. Third strikeout for the Indians, first for Spillner. And it brings up Mark Wagner. Wagner, the shortstop, safe on an error to start a 3-run third inning. Eventually scored on LaFleur's hit. LaFleur singled him home again in the 4th, and he bounced to the first baseman in the 6th. Pitch to Wagner. Check swing. Did he go far enough? He did. Strike 1. Sherwood Merrill checking with the first base umpire Marty Springstead, and Ralph Houck unhappily vocalizes. So does Gates Brown. Stretch. And the strike 1 pitch. There's a bouncing ball. Cox dives, grabs up, throws, got him.
Fine play by Teddy Cox.
Teddy Cox turns into Jewell to third, and the side is retired. Oh, it is no runs, no hits. The leadoff double is wasted for the Tigers. No runs, one hit makes that, and one man left on base. At the end of 7 1/2 innings of play, the Tigers 4 and the Indians 3.
Stand by engine room. Stand by engine room. Taking gangway, single up all lines.
Taking gangway, single up all lines.
Slow stern. Slow stern, Captain. Take over, mate. Let's get on down river.
Hi, Captain. I'd like to try some of my mail pouch tobacco, Cap. Came aboard with the mail at Wheeling.
Don't mind if I do.
The story of a great American tradition, mail pouch chewing tobacco. Mail pouch was America's first brand of leaf tobacco, and it's been pleasing men ever since. That's because mail pouch has its own special one-of-a-kind flavor that comes from over 90 years' experience in giving tobacco chewers what they want. A clean, fresh taste that's not too strong, but isn't too sweet either. A flavor that really lasts and satisfies a man all day long. So if you haven't tried mail pouch lately, chew a few packs and taste the mail pouch difference. You'll see why it's become a tradition to chew mail pouch. And treat yourself to the best.
Well, they've posted the pitchers in 2 of the National League night games. Philadelphia will use Jim Lonborg at Montreal against Dan Schatzeder. And Los Angeles will go with Bert Hooton at Atlanta against Phil Niekro. Here the Indians go into the last half of the 8th, trailing by a run, 4-3. It'll be Manning, Grubb, and Thornton against John Hiller. Milt May stays in the ball game and is now catching for the Detroit Tigers. Sherwood Merrill strolling out toward the mound does something to John Hiller.
I know what it is.
They want that white
Ryan Parade is
move.
about the, getting set up in the outfield. They got a float that has a white background sticking above the fence, and apparently it's in the line of the batter's vision and wanted to move.
They're also bringing down another mask for Milt May, the catcher, from the bullpen. Well, they have moved that big van or whatever it is over in front of the 395 sign in left center. It had been in straightaway center field. Well, John Hiller ready to work here in the 8th inning to Manning. The first pitch to Rick is high, ball 1.
Manning with a perfect night.
2 walks and a single to right. Twice he's been doubled up. 1-0 pitch. Rick takes a fastball, strike at the knees of the outside corner. The count is even at 1-1. Hiller gets ready again. 1-1 pitch to Manning. Rick gets a drive down the right field line, but he pulls it into the bullpen foul. Bo Diaz gloves it, and the count is 1-2. It's been Waits and Spillner for the Indians, Slayton and Hiller for the Detroit Tigers. Pitch to Manning. Rick takes outside. Let her hide. 2 balls, 2 strikes. On deck, Johnny Grubb. Wind up, 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Well, Manning strikes out here in the 8th inning. That is the second strikeout for Hiller, the third by Tiger pitching. And it brings up Johnny Grubb. Grubb is single to center, fly to right, and bashed into a 6-4-3 double play. Tigers have turned over 4 double plays in tonight's first game. First pitch, curveball, high, ball 1. Again, the left-hander wheels and deals 1-0, and it's low and outside to John Grubb, ball 2. Jason Thompson, the first baseman, has moved back along the line at first base. Rodriguez, the third baseman, pulled way off the line at third, right on the baseline between second and third. Here's the 2-0 pitch to Grubb. John takes low, ball 3, 3-0. Tigers picked up 3 in the third, 1 in the fourth, and the Indians got 3 on a slam by Alexander with 2 on in the 6th. 3-0 pitch to Grubb. High, ball 4. Second walk given up by Hiller. A total of 7 by Tiger pitching. The batter is Andy Thornton. He is flied to left, banged into a double play, walked and rode home on Alexander's homer. Action again in the Tiger bullpen about to begin. It's going to be Steve Foucault. Foucault, a right-hander. Used to be with the Texas Rangers. Here's the stretch. Look to first, pitch to Thornton. Andy hits a drive, but foul down the left side into the seats behind the Tiger bullpen dugout. Strike one. And he broke the bat. And we'll head now to the bat rack to get another one. Meanwhile, in Pittsburgh tonight, Silvio Martinez will be pitching for the St. Louis Cardinals, and Big Jim Bibby gets the call for Chuck Tanner's Pittsburgh Pirates. Cardinals beat them both ends of a twilight doubleheader last night.
Cardinals having a little bit of a resurgence.
Oh, Andy Thornton at bat with a strike one count, time called as the ball got away out in the bullpen and goes back to the left fielder. Kemper retrieves it on the warning path. One out and one on. Ron Pruitt already out on deck to bat for Carbo. Strike one pitch. Thornton takes on outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hiller wants to change the baseball or have it examined. I guess that's what's going to happen. Andy Thornton asking for Gerwood Merrill to take a look at it. Gerwood does, and it stays in the game. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. 8th inning, 4-3 Detroit. Grubb at first base. Stretch by John Hiller. 1-1 pitch to Thornton. Fastball inside. 2 balls and a strike. Hiller again looks into Milton A for the sign. Stretches. 2-1 pitch to Thornton. Andy swings and misses, and the count is even at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Thompson at first base holding with Grubb, and Rodriguez deep at third along the line. John Hiller looks in, gets the sign from Milton A. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pitch to Thornton. Andy checks his swing, and strike 3.
There's that changeup, and it's a dandy. That was a called third strike rather than swinging.
3rd strikeout for Hiller. That leaves it up to Ron Pruitt. Pruitt will bat for Carbo, and in doing so will get credit both as a pinch hitter and a designated hitter. Indian pinch hitters are 55 at bats, 8 hits, 4 RBIs, a 145 average. Stretch by Hiller. Pitch to Pruitt. Ronnie takes the curve. A strike. Strike 1. On the year, Pruitt hitting .231, 3 homers, 12 RBIs. The pitch. Pruitt swings and misses. Strike 2. This is Pruitt's first at-bat against the Tigers. As far as a pinch hitter is concerned this year, Pruitt's record, 3 trips, a walk, and 0 for 2 officially. The stretch, 2-strike pitch. Pruitt hits a shot in the hole, then into left field, a base hit. Grubb to second base, turns, hangs on as Kemp comes up with the ball.
And Ryan Pruitt comes through, and here comes Gary Alexander.
Well, Alexander came to bat with 2 on and 2 out in the 6th and put 1 out of here.
Indians will settle for base hit right now.
Alexander hitting .229, 14 homers, 36 RBIs. Gary has now had 4 home runs and 14 RBIs in his last 7 games. Piper on deck. Hiller looks in and gets the sign. Here's the stretch. Pitch. Alexander takes a strike. And the letters on the inside corner. Strike one. Tigers 4 runs, 8 hits. The Indians 3 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors. Hiller ready. Stretches. And delivers to Alexander. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Four to 3, Detroit in the last of the 8th. John Hiller. With Grubb at second and Pruitt at first. Looks in and gets the side. Here's the stretch. Time called. Alexander steps back. Rocky Colavito comes out, has a little chat with Ron Pruitt at first base. Steve Foucault staying warm in the Tiger bullpen. The moment Alexander's hitting .229. Officially 1 for 2 on the night. 4 for 9 in the series. Stretch. 2-strike pitch. Alexander pops it foul. Back out of play behind home plate, and the count is still strike 2. Now time called. They'll change the baseball. Milwaukee leads New York 1-0 at the end of 2 innings of play. And it's McGregor for Baltimore tonight in Toronto against Clancy. Two on and 2 out here in the last half of the 8th inning of play. The pitch way outside off the glove of the catcher, back to the screen. Grubb goes to third, Pruitt to second.
And now a base hit to put the Indians ahead.
Wild pitch. One ball and 2 strikes. Gary Alexander at bat. Dwayne Kuiper on deck. 4-3, Detroit leads. Hiller to stretch. 1-2 pitch to Alexander. He hit the pop foul. Back again out of play behind home plate, and the count is still 1-2. Detroit led early, 4-0. Alexander's 3-run blast in the 6th made it 4-3, and John Hiller's kept it that way right up until this point of the game. Here's the stretch. 1-2 pitch to Alexander. High. 2 balls, 2 strikes. First of a twilight doubleheader. Paxton against Wilcox in the nightcap. Stretch. And 2-2 to Alexander. A foul ball into the upper deck behind home plate, and the count is still 2 balls, 2 strikes. Grubb walk. Pruitt pinch hit single to left. Wild pitch moved to them to second and third. Alexander with a 2-2 count. Hiller turns his attention to Milt May for the sign. Nods, stretches, 2-2 pitch to Alex. He takes high and inside, ball 3, full count.
Gary Alexander really makes the pitcher work.
Here we go again. Hiller gets the sign. Stretches. 3-2 pitch to Alexander. Bouncing ball, third base side, grabbed by Rodriguez. Throws it cross sides, retired. 8th inning, no runs. A hit, a walk, and 2 left. At the end of 8, Detroit 4th, Cleveland 3.
Everywhere. I've got one of the rabbits. I've got 2 innings without the hands. Yesterday, I really found one in a men's restaurant. This is Dave Smith, and I'm talking about the selection of new Fords at Dave Smith Ford, 10 minutes east of Columbus on Broad Street. We have a fine selection, and I'll save you money on a new Ford or buy your three-state finish for your trouble. Coming up, where we offer on-the-spot financing and it's fun to buy a car. That's Dave Smith Ford on Broad Street, halfway between Columbus and Newark.
Lord, help us find justice.
I don't think that any person should have the indignity of having to choose between medicine and food.
Lord, give us strength and patience.
Never, never give up.
Give us faith
You have to believe in what you're doing.
so we can work with each other.
You are not alone. You have a sphere of influence that goes out and touches a number of other people.
A prayer for justice today from the Campaign for Human Development. People together can make a difference. United States Catholic Conference.
Dan Spellner, who came out of the bullpen in the 8th inning to hold the Tigers in check, will come to the mound and face Dillard, LaFleur, and Kemp here in the 9th. Only Lou Whitaker will be batting for Dillard. And then would go in to play second base in the last of the 9th. Whitaker wearing number 1. Sweet Lou, and the Tiger fans here this evening give it that Lou. First pitch, a ball. Low, ball 1. Whitaker hitting .306 with 10 RBIs. Pitch to him, backs him away, ball 2. Whitaker in this series is 3 for 6 with 3 runs scored. Pitch to him, that is high, ball 3, 3-0. Wind up by Spellner, 3-0 pitch. Strike, outside part of the plate, a fastball up near the letters. The count is 3-1. Ron LaFleur on deck. Dan Spellner winds up. 3-1 pitch to Whitaker. Whitaker takes strike 2 at the knees. Full count. In the bullpen, Sid Manji warming up. Spellner with the 3-2 pitch to Whitaker. Low, ball 4. That is the first walk by Spellner and the 4th by Indian pitching tonight. It brings on Ron LaFleur.
Been 11 bases on balls in this game.
LaFleur is 2 for 4. He has scored once and driven in 2. Now 4 for 13 in the series. His batting average up to 264. Squares to butt, takes high outside, ball 1. So stretch. Looking for the butt. LaFleur does butt out in front of the plate. Grabbed by Alexander. Going to go to first base. LaFleur is out. And Whitaker checks in at second base on the sacrifice. Sacrifice by LaFleur. Scored 2-4. Catcher to second baseman covering. And it brings on Steve Kemp. A walk, a sacrifice fly ball. Then the 3rd inning to center field that drove a run home. Fly ball to center field again in the 4th, and was safe on an error in the 7th. And Jeff Torborg's coming out of the first base dugout, walking to the mound.
Sid Manji in the bullpen.
Whitaker at second base and 1 out.
You got Kemp, Staub, and Thompson, all left-hand batters coming along here in this inning.
And the call to the bullpen for the left-hander. So Sid Manji will be coming on. Dan Spellner works 1 inning. No hits, no runs. The man at second, his responsibility. He walked 1, he struck out 1. And the new pitcher will be left-hander Sid Manji, and we'll tell you about Sid after we take this timeout.
You know, listening to Major League Baseball on 3WJ is a great way to follow the national pastime. But to really appreciate the game and the players' talents, at least once in a while, you should see a game in person. And those of us at 3WJ would like you to see the exciting Cleveland Indians on us during our Tribe Ticket Giveaway. All you have to do is send us your name, address, and phone number. And every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday during the noon news, we'll draw a name to win 2 tickets to an Indians home game of your choice. If your name is drawn, on, your tickets will to the mail that same day. And we won't stick you out in the left field bleachers, but in box seats, so you'll be right next to the action. To enter, send your name, address, and phone number on a postcard or letter to Tribe Tickets, 3WJ, P.O. Box 373, Johnstown, Ohio, 43031. Again, that's Tribe Tickets, P.O. Box 373, Johnstown, Ohio, 43031. To win 2 box seat tickets to a Cleveland Indians baseball game of your choice. Entries are limited to 1 per week, so enter today and let 3WJ take you out to the ball game.
Sid Margie comes on for the Tribe. Sid making his 15th appearance. This will be his 13th relief job. 2 wins, a loss. He has saved 2 games and an earned run average of 2.33. 38 2/3 innings of work. He's allowed just 27 hits, 10 earned runs, walked 21. He has struck out 16, and he'll be facing Steve Kemp with a runner at second, 1 man down. First game of the doubleheader. We are in the 9th inning. The Indians trailing 4-3.
So Steve Kemp remains at home plate. Spelner threw 13 pitches in the time that he worked, covering 1 inning. Whitaker at second base with 1 out here in the 9th. Staub on deck. The stretch by Monge. Pitch to Kemp. Low and outside. Alexander dropping to his knees to stop it. Ball 1. Jim Kern now up in the bullpen for the Indians. Monge gets the sign. Here's the stretch. 1-0 pitch. Curveball low. Ball 2. Alexander runs to the mound to talk to Sid Monge. Whitaker opened with a walk, was sacrificed to second base by LaFleur, and the count on Kemp is 2-0. Monge says run the signs 1 more time. Here's the stretch and the 2-0 pitch. Foul ball back upstairs, out of play, and the count is 2-1. Monge looks in again. Shakes his head, but sets and delivers. Kept swing and a miss on a fastball. 2-2. He is not cheated, boy. Does he take a swing? 1 out and 1 on in the top of the 9th. Here's the look for the sign. The stretch. 2-2 pitch. Kemp pops it up. Third baseman Cox, foul ground in front of the coach's box, between the bag and the box, makes the grab. 2 outs. Rusty Staub has flied to center, walked, robbed of a hit by Kuiper, and slapped a single to center field and was doubled up. Hitting .287. Monge now moving the shortstop riser over, about 2-3 steps to his left. Monge here's in, gets the sign. Here's the stretch. And the pitch to Staub. He takes low and outside on a breaking ball. Ball 1. Shrine out of the stadium, and the Shriners are ready to go, all lined up outside the center field fence. 1-0 pitch. Staub takes low. Ball 2. Tigers leading 4-3 in the top of the 9th with 2 outs and a runner at second base for Detroit. Now they're going to walk Staub intentionally. Third pitch comes wide. This is the first walk issued by Monge, the first intentional walk tonight by Tribe pitching. Puts runners at first and at second, and that will bring Jason Thompson to bat. Toronto's at it again. Carty smacks a 2-run homer in the first inning.
Well, let them get it all out of the system tonight.
That's right.
They play tomorrow, though. They have an exhibition game in Montreal, Toronto.
And the way the Canadians are talking and writing about that game, Herb, that could be a little bit more than just your normal exhibition game.
Played, right.
Here's the stretch. And the pitch. Curveball outside, ball one.
In fact, they're going to beam that on television all throughout Canada.
Whitaker at second and Staub at first. Thompson at bat with Thornton and Kuiper playing his back as far as they can go. Here's the pitch. He started to go, stopped the swing, and didn't do it in time. Missed on the curveball. The count is even at 1-1. We'll get a station break to you as soon as we can. Manji takes the look. Here's the stretch. 1-1 pitch to Thompson. A foul. Back out of play, and we'll pause for station identification. This is the Cleveland Indians Baseball Network.
This is 3WJ, Central Ohio, for the Cleveland Cavaliers, Rams, and Indians. WWJ, Johnstown.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Thompson at bat. Whitaker at second, Staub at first in the ninth. The Tigers are leading 4-3. The stretch. 1-2 pitch. Low and outside. Good stop by Alexander. 2-2. Aurelio Rodriguez on deck. Manji looks again. He's shaking his head to the last 3 signs and says, let's do them one more time. Time called. Thompson takes a step back. And now they have decided on what pitch to throw. A stretch. 2-2 pitch to Thompson. Line drive, foul. Left side into the seats. Still 2 balls, 2 strikes. This is the top of the ninth. Tigers scored early, 3 in the third, 1 in the fourth. Alexander's 3-run homer made it 4-3 in the sixth, and it's been that way ever since. Stretch, 2-2 pitch to Thompson, swing and a foul tip back. Still 2-2. The Indians and the Tigers right now are battling for a run. The Tigers want it, and the Indians want to keep them from it. To have just that 1-run margin going to the last of the ninth. The stretch by Manji. And the 2-2 pitch to Thompson. Swing and a go for the curveball, struck him out.
Some job by Manji.
So in the ninth, no runs, no hits, 2 walks, and 2 left. And we're going to the last half of the ninth inning. It is still Detroit 4 and Cleveland 3. Now a number of night games are underway in both leagues. Up at County Stadium, they're playing a twilight doubleheader, and Milwaukee leads the Yankees 2-0 after 3 innings of play behind Caldwell against Tidrow. St. Louis and Pittsburgh scoreless after 1. Montreal 1-0 over Philadelphia after 1. Toronto 2-0 over Baltimore after 1, and LA and Atlanta scoreless after 1. Marvell Blanks will be batting for Dwayne Kuiper in the ninth inning of play. Blanks will be coming to bat against the left-hander, John Hiller. Marvell is hitting .221 with 11 RBIs. On deck, Ted Cox. Wind up. Pitch to Blanks. Marvell looks at the curveball for a strike. Strike one. Well, the first pitch hitter of the night delivered. Threw it with a single. Pitch to Blanks. Rips it hard into left field. Base hit. Now Marvell Blanks backs a single to left to start the ninth.
Tiger bullpen is starting to move around.
Blanks gets things underway, and Teddy Cox will try to keep them rolling.
Into his Steve Foucault again.
Marvell Blanks, I believe that may have been his first pinch hit of the year. Hiller looking in. The pitch, Cox to bunt, first base side, picked up by Thompson, throws to Whitaker. Cox out, but Blanks is at second base. Sacrifice front, 3-4. Tom Verizon coming to bat. Tom tonight is singled, bounced to third and walked. 1 for 2. That was Marvell Blank's first pinch hit in 7 tries. Verizon hitting .252. 1 out, 1 on. Pitch to Tommy. Inside, ball 1.
And Tommy would like nothing better than to drive in the tying run against his former teammates.
A stretch by Hiller. 1-0 pitch to Verizon. Tom swings and foul tips it in and out of the mid of May, and the count is 1-1. Thompson at first, Whitaker at second. Wagner at short, Rodriguez at third, Kemp in left, LaFleur in center, Stanley in right, May catching, Hiller on the mound. Last of the ninth, Detroit leads 4-3. John Hiller looks in for the side. The stretch, 1-1 pitch. Verizon wraps it to the third baseman, Rodriguez. Looks Blanks back, throws across, Verizon's out. 2 outs in the ninth. That leaves it up to Paul Dade. Ball the slide to right. A fielder's choice to the shortstop, another bouncer to the shortstop, and a double play, 5-4-3. Tigers have turned over 4 of them tonight. Let's come down to Paul Dade against John Hiller in the ninth with 2 out and a runner at second base. The stretch by Hiller. The pitch to Dade. Ball takes high and inside, ball 1. Rick Manning is on deck. Hiller stretches, delivers. Dade takes a strike on the outside corner above the knees. 1 ball, 1 strike. Indians have been involved in 28 previous 1-run games and have split them right down the middle. Tigers in 22. They've split them 11 each way. 1-1 pitch to Dade. Low and outside, 2-1. Blanks at second with 2 outs in the last of the ninth. A look. A stretch. The pitch. Dade takes high. 3-1.
Boy, Derwin Merrill had that right hand poised. He started to go with it, then held it back.
On 8 hits for the Tigers, 3 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors for the Indians. Blanks at second. Hiller, long look for the side. Here's the stretch. 3-1 pitch to Dade. He takes strike 2, inside corner.
And John Hiller threw him a pretty good curveball, 3-1.
Full count. Stretch by Hiller. Payoff pitch to Dade. Swing and a miss. Struck him out, and the game's over. So in the ninth inning of play, no runs and a hit with a man left. And the Detroit Tigers win the opener 4-3. And another fine bit of relief work by John Hiller.
The fellow who had a heart attack, he pitches in a very nervous situation.
Detroit, 4 runs, 8 hits, and no errors. For the Cleveland Indians, 3 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors. Game took 2 hours and 33 minutes. Tigers left 9 and the Indians stranded 7. The winning pitcher is Jim Slayton. He is 8-4. And John Hiller picks up his 8th save. And the loser is Rick Waits. His record is 5-8. The Tigers back over the 500 mark at 36-35. The Indians slipped at 32-39. Tigers even their road record at 19 all, and the Indians are 20-16 at home. The Tigers got 3 runs in the third. An error by Cox opened it up, then a bunt single by Dillard put 2 on with nobody out. LaFleur singled home 1. A sacrifice fly by Kemp brought another. A walk to Staub, and then Rodriguez punched a single up the middle to make it a 3-run inning. In the 4th inning, Wagner hit a single to right, sacrificed to second, and LaFleur singled him home to make it 4-0 off Waits. Gary Alexander's 3-run shot following 2 walks in the 6th inning made it 4-3, but that was the scoring story. The Tigers assisted tonight very nicely by 4 double plays. So we invite you to stay tuned for the second game. In the nightcap, Milt Wilcox will be going for the Detroit Tigers, and it will be Cleveland's Mike Paxton on the mound. And we'll be back to tell you all about that in 20 minutes along the network line. First game of the doubleheader went in 2 hours, 33 minutes, and the final score, Detroit 4, Cleveland 3.
This copyrighted recording is licensed by Major League Baseball. Any reproduction or other commercial use of this recording, in whole or in part, is prohibited.
Rotate and Herb Score. Cleveland's baseball is brought to you by Margot Polo Lounge on West 5th Avenue in Columbus. The best disco in town. By Dave Smith Ford, 10 minutes east of Columbus on Broad Street. By Budweiser, the King of Zoo. By Chewing Tobacco, treat yourself to the best. Neil Talmadge. By the Broad View Golf Course, with Brooks having 16 amateurs for a challenging 9-hole golf course. And by Spitzer Dodge, 5100 East Main in Columbus. WWJ Total Sports in Central Ohio, and Cleveland Indians Baseball. WJ, Miller Rock, 103.